Um,
Yeah.
well, let's start and say hello. How are you? So good to see you. So good to
Nice
meet
to
you.
see you. Thank you for having me,
Oh yeah.
us.
Um, where's your partner in crime's late?
Yes. He may show up. We'll see.
Um,
He's out shopping. How's that?
yes, he's always be shopping. ABS, always be shopping. That's Peter. Um, who is a phenomenal decorator, and I can't wait to talk to him also. But how did you like working on this one? Was it fun? I mean, it's dream.
This one was a delight because we have the opportunity to work with two executive producers who actually really care about what the show looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm not a dig at any other executive creator, but Max and David really want their sets to look exquisite. So you can always go the extra mile and get as much as you can out of the budget when you're working with these guys because they actually really care about the way it looks. And I say this often that um, it's another character in the show for them. They really, do take great love and care about the details. So that's what's beautiful about working with this group. And then, of course, the great Jimmy Burrows often, shows your set as much as he can because he can tuck up into corners and
Yeah.
add portholes where normal directors wouldn't do, things like that. So it's a delight. And then, of course, you get the cast that blends together. How often does that happen? So this particular show, it was, genie in the bottle kind of thing. So I'm hoping it takes off and has a little life of its own. So far, I'm hearing some good things from people.
Oh, I know a couple people who've watched. They were like, "Oh, that's funny," and it's a quick. Well, I mean, especially being on Hulu,
Yes,
it's a quick watch.
yes,
You can bust out four in a night or something. Like
yes.
it's a
And
good.
I feel like in today's day and age, with what's going on in the world around us, this is a light,
Yes.
comedy that everybody needs a little laughter, and it's a good show
Yeah.
for that.
I recently read James Burrows' book directed by James Burrows.
Yes, very good.
What a phenomenal book.
Yeah.
Phenomenal career and I mean, just to work with him must be amazing also. So I'm jealous of that.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to work with him
Yeah.
uh, on Friends back in the day
Yeah.
when we started that. So, and then many pilots with him. So I've been really lucky to kind of be one of his. He's got a few. Glenn
Yeah.
does one of them as well. So
How
it's beautiful.
how did you feel? What is your prep per episode? Because you do some really big swing sets here. I mean, I'll get back to this too.
Yes. So
But
it's funny you asked that question because I just had an interview a couple days ago, and most people in our world they go, so once you do the permanent sets, what do you guys do? And I'm like, well, there's restaurants, there's offices, there's country club sets, there's casinos, there's so our prep basically, I usually get a script if I'm lucky, the Wednesday or Thursday prior to the coming uh, following week where the episode starts to prep.
mm,
So I get 2 or 3 days to kind of, put it together and then pitch it and then put it on paper and make sure construction has enough time to build and paint and set deck and get out in the world. So our turnaround's really like 3, 4 days. We're really quick on that. And, up to the bitter end, usually Peter's tweaking the set a little bit. And the morning of, we're adding this and that and greens. So it's a quick turnaround. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. We've got an amazing crew. And usually we get two decent sized swing sets
per
an
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hi.
it's good.
Hi, Peter.
There he
Sorry.
is.
I was puttering in the garden, minding my own business with my tomato plants.
Did the plants whisper to you it's time to get on the podcast?
Yes, they were like, Something made me get up and go in the kitchen.
We jumped in a little bit, but we were just talking about
Fantastic.
the prep of each episode and these huge swing sets you have every week. I mean, it's the turnaround I think is always amazing for any of us, but on multicam, I mean, and the level that you guys do your sets is amazing to me.
Thank
It's
you.
amount of detail.
Yeah, but I I always think about that. There is very short turnaround, but being located at Disney,
Mm,
we're very close to Warner Brothers, which is where I usually shop
yeah.
for this show, and that makes it super convenient. And then I also remember of all the hours I do not have to spend in a location van
Yeah.
trotting around the entire metropolitan area of Los Angeles. So
I envy you there.
it is a trade-off, but I like it because I come from the world of theater, and that's always, live theater is you're very fast-paced, and you've got to be expected to, expect anything. So, I mean, I like the pace. It just keeps it, interesting.
Yeah,
I
that's one advantage to being
Yeah.
in the multicam world is that you have a home and you know exactly, the box you're going to
Right.
create because rarely do you go out. I mean, occasionally you get on location, but it's on the back lot, of the
Right.
studio you're shooting on. So you really can make a lot happen because you're all in the same world of art department is collaborating constantly and it's a nice tight family instead of getting a call from me in the production van going, hey, they just added
Yeah.
Right,
looking this
right,
way instead of
right.
that way.
What are you talking about? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Send me some pictures.
exactly.
I have to call out, we're looking at a picture of a dining room restaurant and the amount of detail that you guys get in here, though. I mean, the napkins matching almost perfectly with the wallpaper. I mean, getting wallpaper that quickly and everything, and then your screens that you design and the reverse images in the back of the bar. I mean, it's an incredible amount of detail that you throw in here. And I just have to say that's
Thank you for noticing. That's
oh
that's
yeah,
beautiful that you
oh it's beautiful,
yeah, I mean
so
it's
beautiful.
it's it's due diligence of an amazing graphic designer that helped us design
Yes. Yeah.
these screens. I found our first job is research, right? We
Yeah,
dig in deep and find some cool places that we love and this came to mind and then had her create this image and then it goes out to the CNC machine or wherever
Mhm.
we can get them made and
Mhm.
wallpaper gets picked, but you have to go through the executive producer creators and go, is this too much? Or you're going to free. And, they 9 times out of 10, they buy it, but there is often times where they, you know, kind
yeah,
of push back. And then, of course, good old Linoleum City occasionally has something that's amazing that kind of works with your
it's
pieces and then Peter like looks at the palette and goes, oh, I can make this magic and I'm not sure if he made those napkins but this is a set where I was talking about Peter came in he continues to you know nitpick at it until the bitter end till it's perfect so it's a beautiful thing.
yeah. I mean,
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's great working with Greg because he gives us a full palette and wallpaper samples and everything as soon as he gets approval. And that makes it easy enough to match stuff. Now, I would have to say, I think the producers disagree with Greg,
hmm,
rarely disagree with me because, I mean, of course, we make all the right choices. But
there's trust. You've
well,
gained trust.
there
That's
is trust. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Now,
yeah.
now, now the thing is, I based in my head, and Greg's vision actually bore this out, is I thought of the Moroccan villas in Palm Springs,
Mm,
which is a condominium golf course complex. And they have a main clubhouse that's this vibe. It is exactly
Oh, wow.
this vibe with the dining room that has the separate bar. There's pierced screens of some kind. So it's completely channeled from Palm Springs. So with Greg's research, kind of had that in my mind. I also had friends in the interior design world who actually had put up a proposal to redesign this space at the Moroccan. So I was very familiar with the building and all the mid-century touches. But also, I think there's a little bit of magic. I think that we both bring, and like Greg said, you go to Linoleum City and look, oh, there's that
Yeah.
great linoleum, but wow, look at that carpet. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's
that. Yeah.
fantastic. I even have to say the backing is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. It just came together, and
yeah.
this we got a little extra time because this was our first episode, and so I had an extra week of prep on this one, which was nice.
That's always nice. Oh,
Well, it
take
was
it.
almost too much. It was almost too much prep because
Oh,
then
I hear
you're
you.
going, oh, wait a minute. Now, should I, wait, maybe those napkins aren't right.
Or,
Now,
or don't you think? I always think like, didn't we shoot that already? Didn't I
yeah,
make
Right.
all those
yeah,
decisions?
all the time.
Exactly.
Did
All
I
the
make
time.
that decision? I don't want to rethink it. Or like if a buyer starts putting like more sofas in, I'm like, I already picked a sofa. Why are you giving me more choices? Like I
Right?
spent too much time
Right?
here.
Yeah. Now here's the crazy
And
thing is that we didn't sorry, Greg, we didn't make anything here. This all came from Warner Brothers stock.
The
So
chairs? Wow, I thought the chairs
I didn't
kind of
make the
country.
drapes. I didn't make the drapes. I didn't make the
Wow.
we did buy the tables though, and I rented the chairs, but at some point they needed tablecloths on some of them, the tables, but not all of them. So it ends up
Yeah.
being evolving as they
Yeah.
go. Yeah, but it's all Warner Brothers here.
It's great. It's fantastic. It's a huge swing set too. I mean, speaking of the casino, I know is no small feat. I've done it many times.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
it's is this, let me ask you this. Is this the same footprint as this restaurant?
yes,
Wow.
yes,
Because this looks gigantic.
yes.
Like how much depth you're able to
Well,
design it with.
there's no backing in this set, so
Oh
I
yeah.
gain an extra
Oh,
10, 11, 12 feet.
oh, wow.
Um, yeah, so that's exactly right. You nailed it. My footprint on stage every week is pretty much a 48 by 48 square, and then the other side of the swing permanent sets is, 35 by 24. So, the beauty of this is you're creating a puzzle into these two spaces and trying your best to give it depth and interest. And yeah, I mean, that's why working on multicams is, not as easy as it may seem.
So I, back in the day during high school in my summer job, I was a casino dealer.
Oh,
Wow.
fun.
Whenever
That's
we do a
where.
casino in Harrah's in Atlantic City. So whenever we do a casino, I'm like, ooh, deja vu. Like I'll deal it out. Like I know where the shoe goes and this and blah blah blah.
Nice.
When I see a casino, I always have to just just in awe of how great this type of design is because you need the busy rug.
Hmm.
You
Yep.
need the
Yep.
jazzy chairs. The lighting is everything. And like I just always see how great it is when people have to do casinos and how much work it is and getting all the slot machines right. And like, it's a
Well,
lot.
this one was funny because we got the outline, and I assumed it was going to be a great Vegas casino.
Right.
Without talking to them, I put together this vision board of this beautiful looking casino, and he's like, "No, no, no, this is out in like Palm Springs. Give it a little bit of like,
Yeah.
those what are they called? Moronga or whatever. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
remember
Morongo.
all.
So yeah,
Morongo?
yeah. Put a little
Yeah,
stink on it. Make it look a
yeah.
little toppy.
Yeah, so we had to pull back and change some of the wallpaper and redo a few elements
I mean, it's not
color-wise. And
O'Shea's. It's not like it's
no,
not Penny
no,
Roulette or anything. It's very nice. It's like,
but it did still turn out as, yeah. And I think if you see in the sign there, it's the Starlight Sands and RV Trailer Park or something
Oh
like
wow, I didn't even see that
that.
RV campground.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
well,
it's a combination.
Take it down a notch.
now if I was Don Osmond, I would not be happy about that.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? They pay big money, those guys.
Yeah.
I think he's played it. He may not admit it, but he's played in a casino similar
Oh,
Yeah,
to this one.
for
yeah.
sure.
Yes, he has. I was kind of bummed. I thought he'd come out at the end and make a little
So
cameo.
did
I
we.
was
I
bummed.
Yeah,
was
we did
I
too.
was
Yeah, we
hoping
thought
for
he
that.
did too. Yeah.
But
'Cause
all of this too, because there's a big scene up these two stairs, and then you're constantly looking back into this casino, and you've got such great depth and great, you've got textures on these walls and all the people walking around. Like it's big. I
well,
see
I
the
have,
tones on the side, so you had to elevate the set,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, we and again, like as I mentioned at the top of the show here, it's a tribute to Jimmy to figure out how to shoot long scenes that all they're doing is standing in line and make it
Yeah,
look interesting,
yeah.
yes. And I have to say a little shout out to Kathy Ball, who did all our florals
Oh
for the
yeah.
series, and she created these slightly tacky but gorgeous florals
Perfect.
Yes.
for some of the pedestals and around the room. And I have to say, when Greg first did this, I was excited because it made me think back to when they shot Oceans, was it Oceans 11 or Oceans 12? One of them,
Mhm.
shot it on the lot at Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
and they created this big, huge section of the casino entrance. Excuse me. And I just remember that they had created this sort of lotus pattern, but I love that Greg added all that patterning on the doors there by the theater, and that we had all this stuff in the room. It really gives it some visual excitement.
Yeah. No, it's great textures throughout the room that all work together. Even, I mean, look at like even your little ashtrays down there. Your little marble
I
ashtrays.
know, and my silly old-fashioned Art Deco lights. Where did
Yeah.
those
Huge.
are Warner Brothers back from a corner somewhere, you know.
Oh my God.
You can still find treasures.
Oh wait. I mean, Warner Brothers is
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's the
Yeah.
jam.
Um, and again, you only had about a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and I think the difficult things were getting the tables right. You know, we had to rent tables and
Yeah.
they were kind of sad, so we had to do skirts for them, and then we added lighting along the rail there for all the tables. But I love the bar stools. I think they're from RC Vintage, but I thought, oh, gold crocodile?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally, let's get them.
I just recently did a huge casino and finding tables that are modern and not completely worn down, like old felt and it's hard. And
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask if you had them refelted because the black is nice and the cup holders are the modern, like you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta have your cup holders now, everybody.
I got right crazy. Those are rental tables from some outfit. It was
Yeah.
some offshoot, but
Yeah.
I think adding the skirts
Yeah. No,
kind of
I wish I
negate.
thought of that.
Yeah, well, more of a trick because it negates the base, which was, plywood legs or some
Yeah.
crazy.
I do want to ask this overall question of when you're putting these sets together, are are you in the way of the lighting grid? Like what's because the I always get so angry when I see a light like hanging on set. Like here, like I would be
Right.
through the
So
roof.
what happens is in multicam is they usually day one and two they rehearse in the set and then at the end of rehearsal at the end of the day whether it's 4 o'clock 5 o'clock whatever unfortunately Peter and his crew have to strike the entire set
Right.
so they can get in there and they work until what 10 11 at night sometimes midnight to hang and that's the beauty of having a seasoned crew because they don't ask you to do it too many times. But the truth be told, it ends up being struck almost every night except for camera blocking day.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a constant like dress it, undress it, dress it again.
That's right. That's right.
I just didn't know for multicam if they leave them there.
No,
No, they take them all out.
it's a relight every episode.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, some fixtures stay up, but most of them get moved.
Yeah.
If not 80, 90% of them get repositioned. And then, of course, on this show, as we like to say, we're fortunate enough to push our DP to the point of allowing us and keeping all these chandeliers that we like to
Yeah.
drop in because it just adds that extra layer of real
Yeah.
to our look, you know?
Yeah, it's our fourth wall, and really we kind of have to thread the needle between
Yeah.
his lighting instruments and make sense of it. So sometimes I just try and get my hanging lights up as fast as possible. So sometimes he'll work around them. And of course, our cast is all of a certain age, except maybe Matt Bomer. Although, so they
Yeah.
like to get those lights nice and low so they get some good angles on their
Hmm.
faces to give them some nice light.
And
So,
then you're threading the needle with the sound guys.
yes,
So
yes.
that's the other thing. You have to be careful where you hang them because they're they're that boom mic is running left and right all scene, the whole
They're not
scene.
mic'd. They're still using
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no,
boom.
no, 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 no.
What?
No.
Yeah, they're not Mike,
Yeah.
and that's
There's three
great.
or four boom mics in each set that are, you know, capturing all the sound. Yeah.
Do they know about little mics?
I know. I
Well, I
know.
think
I
I
know.
think it tends to show up, and also maybe wireless is unreliable for them. But also, I'm expecting the sound department to invent something new any day now instead of
Mm.
Well,
buying boom
Good
mic.
luck with that.
I'm
It
not.
never happens, right?
I'm not because I've seen how much they make. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
every boom guy
But,
makes a lot of
but
money. They're not inventing anything. They want to
right,
keep their show.
right,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we move on to that,
Yeah.
I will just say the one of the most annoying things I think for all of us, and including you, Kim, is that when you walk on set and you see how low they try to hang fixtures into the set is just like, really? Do you have to hang them that low?
Does.
But it's the nature of making the cast look good. That's most important, I guess.
I
But I think
always try to think like, well, if they want that angle, they'll move that light.
Yeah, yeah.
but I think also Greg sometimes is kind of pushing them a little bit because he wants to make, I think the key to a sitcom set, one of the keys is having depth behind the actors. And so this is an exceptionally deep sitcom set. And I think it's, in a way, uh, it's great for all the shots, but also maybe is making the DP work a little harder for it because of the depth, because you can't hang a light that low. But I love it when we have a deep set like this and we
That's right.
get a
Yeah.
good view.
Oh, it's great. It really breaks up the show too. Like you've taken them out of their normal spot. I've sneezed.
Right.
And your color choices also breaks away from their home base set so nicely too. It really like gives the viewer something like crisp to look at. I love it. Um, did you have fun with a hot tub on the set? Or is that
Why wouldn't you?
Right. Well, the goal was to
a
find
weight
one.
bearing?
Right. We started out with looking for a proper hot tub, obviously, a jacuzzi.
Mm,
And what you realize is when you shop jacuzzis, everything has a bench seat, a lay down seat, a step. And when you have three actors and potentially four, we didn't know at the time, in a jacuzzi, you're like, I can't find just a simple box that you can sink in. And then, of course, you have to talk about how deep do you have to sink it, and you can't sink it into the stage, so you have to raise it on a platform.
right.
Um, so if you notice in the show, the goal was to have it be a seamless from deck to jacuzzi. And our first go at this had the cast with their chest and nipples above the water line because they didn't want to scoot down. And
Right.
it wasn't that comfortable for him, I guess. So I had to remake and build it up, which is why you see it like this. But I think this one worked out well. I think that's on a 3 foot platform,
Mm.
and then we've dropped it. So it's the kind of thing where, you know, sometimes it doesn't go as well as you kind of plan out. But
Well,
it's always fun to create, a little grotto set.
it's not one-stop shopping to have a seat in there because all
No,
the actors are different heights. I mean,
that's right.
it's a
So we
very hard
custom made
ask.
this one.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
right.
hard
Yeah.
ask. It's like, can we measure everyone sitting down, or like, can we
And they don't
Well,
want to, yeah, that's exactly right.
measure your
I think,
nipple line sitting
yeah.
down? Like, no, you're
yeah,
not.
there was a lot of discussion about that, plus the water temperature, because
And
it's
the
not
water temperature
circulating, right? So they had to.
and the bubbles.
And the bubbles, yeah. And
Yeah.
your water temperature versus the temperature in the studio, so you don't get steam. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
And
So,
they're sitting in there for God,
Totally
half an
water.
hour.
They were all prunes, totally water.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have to shout out Kathy Ball here, because if you see the sort of mid-century inspired planters in the corner and at the corners of the jacuzzi, really amazing precast lightweight concrete pieces that Kathy had, and then following Greg's lead with the succulents he put in the house plantings, we continued that in the planters, and also he gave us. Although I think you did the plants on the walls, didn't you, Greg?
Yeah, the greensman
Yeah,
did it, but
yeah,
she did an amazing job. I mean,
yeah.
those planter boxes or whatever you want to call them are like amazing. The shape of them are so
yeah,
cool.
they're so
Yeah.
pretty.
And
Yeah.
then with
Sconces, your
oh
sconces.
yeah, the sconces. It's funny because it's actually really an indoor sconce, but there were several of them that I'd used on the exterior of the house already, so I kind of had to root around Warner Brothers to find them. And then they had glass balls, but were around water, so we had to find plastic balls. And then what part you can't see here is actually the set extends to the right of the chaise lounge, and there's actually an area of the house you see into. There's a big glassy door wall and looks into like a sitting area or something. So and then there's a dining table to the right as well. So we really did get to do a full-sized terrace. There's one light fixture you can't see. We had invented something that was mid-century flavored, but we used new LED style lights
Built it.
to create like a mid-century sculptural light, wall light. So, and also I have to shout out, like I know Greg loves this, but our scenic crew, the
Yeah.
rocks, and then
Very
the
good.
floor on this, the floor, Greg,
The flooring is
the,
fantastic.
the floor tile is amazing, amazing.
Well, I printed that. Good old dangling
Oh, well, there
carrot.
you go. It's
Yeah.
printed. Well done.
Probably
You,
had
Yeah.
to age it.
Very good. So good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I know that anytime water's involved, it's a big deal. And the plastic and everything, and plastic glasses and everything like that, it's a big deal. Um, More of your swing sets. I mean, you had this boutique, and you have Bunny's boutique, the bunny,
Yes.
Hmm.
the bunny hutch. I could not find a really great picture of it, but
Sure.
it's fantastic. I mean, the excitement you give to lingerie in here is very nice. Like,
Well, I
beautiful.
think I think it was fun because I think this shot is actually pretty good because it shows you the depth again
Yeah.
of the set, and this is the same space as the casino. And
Mm.
I did a lot of Amazon shopping for these circular racks
Mm.
the lingerie is on, and then we bought sort of lingerie in bulk off of Amazon, and only went to Warner Brothers for some very to the wardrobe department, that enormous underground bunker of fabulosity, and got really fine, nice pieces of lingerie to put on some of the mannequins.
Do you most likely rent? Because I would think at the end of the show, like you're holding on to some sets, you'd hold on to this probably.
Yes.
Do you have like I had to buy all this, I had to buy like is there like logistically a problem when you buy shit? I'd have to think. I don't know. I don't know for some reason I feel like you guys don't get the same amount of storage over break than like a single cam or something because we buy a lot or we I don't know. I know I'm wrong, but I'm just asking.
Well, they kind of gave us space based on what we ended up with, but I think because this is a set that is going to repeat, there were more purchases, and
Yeah.
okay, I hate to say this, but Amazon with its incredibly well, they used to be incredibly cheap goods. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Uh,
Creeping up on us.
and their promise of quick delivery within a day or two uh, makes it irresistible because even if I went to a fixtures place, they're going to show me something that's 20 years old, and I might not be able to get, six that match, which is what I wanted to do here with its funny curvy shape, which I thought worked well with Greg's wallpaper and the overall theme
Yeah.
of the building. And also, even though they're made out of, I don't know, thin air and cheap plastic, they
They
are
look good.
too,
They
right?
look good. They
They look
sparkle.
good. And I only struggled a little bit with this because I think I changed out the chandelier a couple of times. But um, oh, we also this is what drove them crazy is in conjunction with the props department, we felt that the Bunny Hutch, because it's such a kitschy name, would have its own merchandise like
Oh yeah.
body lotion or perfume or eau de cologne or whatever. So we made up bottles of lotion and little bottles of perfume in black and pink that we had on display in the niches on either side of the checkout of the cash wrap.
No.
Which you can't see has a beautiful logo on it because
Well,
someone's
they
blocking.
should be selling that on
Right? Drove them crazy. Like I think it may go a long way to getting us a second season if a Hulu executive got some bunny
yeah,
body lotion.
some bunny lotion. Smell like a
Well,
bunny.
what's funny about this set is at the beginning of talk about this set with Max was you need to design a clasp that's the logo for Bunny Hutch that's in every bra where the bra clasps.
Oh my
And
God.
so I had to do like, I think we did 3 or 4 renditions of looks, 12 looks each on each rendition to have him pick what the logo would look like, thinking that there would be a bra that, or something that we'd see, a prop.
Right.
We never ended up using the clasp, but it
Yeah.
became our logo.
Yeah, we used it on all the body lotion. So,
Yeah,
See, it got used. It got in
yeah.
there.
yeah.
But is that also the graphic back there, the bunny hutch? Is that the
Well, the bunny hutch, the logo you see in the back, but on the front of the counter is the clasp.
oh.
So if we were ever to see an actual bra that made them millions, which is how they became so rich,
Yeah.
the clasp would it looks like a little bunny. I could send you a picture if you.
It's very cute. And also in the script, when they're talking about the different bras and their names, and we try
Right.
to keep up with that so that in the set they would have the visual reference along with the script reference, but then they kept changing because in the foreground we had display tables of the bras with the different signs on them, and they kept changing where they were stopping and saying the different words. So I mean, only I know when I watch them, I go, "Oh, that's the wrong
You're
Yeah.
picking
table
up the
for the
wrong
bra they're
bra.
talking about, but it's on the other table to the left."
Right. Exactly.
Only things that we
Yeah.
upset us. That type of thing. Only no one knows what didn't get on the set. That's
Oh,
all.
there's also this is how insane I was. Uh, right where the header is to the left, Greg has a raised step where you enter, and that's covered in some lovely carpeting, and then this big glassy door and windows, show windows. So I put um, bunny head shaped topiaries in
I
the
saw those.
side. Yeah, okay, good. All right,
I
someone
saw
saw
those.
them. Thank you.
I love the whole concept of it. I think it's such a funny thing, and for a gay man to have the bra shop, I think is a fantastic.
Well, don't count us out. And also, but Greg,
No,
gave us the direction. It's like this is um, a franchise. So think of in some of the designs you're doing that it's repeated or it's part of the, lookbook
yeah,
that a franchisee would get when they're creating their own bunny hutch. So that was kind of fun to think of in that way.
I think it's a funny storyline, and I applaud them for giving you so many details to go off of to
Yeah,
to make it
yeah.
feel so real and thought out.
Well,
That's
that's the beautiful thing about this show too. You have you get a bit of a style, the mid-century, the Palm Springs aspect of it, the
yeah.
quirkiness of gay men. So you can be a little bit more flamboyant, a little bit more out there, um, push the envelope a little bit to really make it a little more interesting looking.
I did
Um,
I did have to pull back though a little bit because
yeah, yeah,
everything was pink and the
yeah.
carpets were pink and so or
He
they were
did. This is
purple or
where
something,
Max
right?
was,
Yeah.
yeah, Max
It
actually had a
was
little,
like
it's
it's
like
too
too much.
bad. Right, it's too much.
But
So,
well,
so I
better
replaced the pink carpets with leopard carpets. What are you going to do? That might seem
Yeah, that
subtle to
works.
me.
better to have too much than too little. That's
Yeah.
the best.
Mother said, take one thing off when you leave the house.
The also this one with the clothing in the back, there's a boutique um and there's like beautiful clothing hanging in the background. Is this your or is this a collaboration with the with wardrobe or is this your own? Is this no?
It's actually it is a collaboration, and then Alex, my shopper, excuse me, buyer, who just happens to be related to Greg, but she is a great buyer. I sent her down into the wardrobe department, and you know, she's got a younger viewpoint. So I sent her down there to go get a whole rack of stuff, and she did not disappoint. So there's a few pieces that are scripted that are from the wardrobe department, but then the rest of the closet really is Alex going down at Warner Brothers again to bring us back some of the bags and some of the more outlandish outfits. So she did really well.
Were you pissed that he's stepping on the
No, we both were we both worked with Jesse before. In fact, I worked with him on his first pilot that he did in 2009 or 2006 or something called the class. And so I've known him a long time. I've actually worked with him on some houses of his in his real life. So as far as I'm concerned, he can step or break anything he wants to. But I know Greg's worked with him too. So
He's family, right?
yeah, it's weird. It's how they bring in a guest star and we're like, oh, so and so, and
yeah.
I'll know him or Greg will know him or we'll even have worked with them in their private life. It's so rarely a days go by that or an episode goes by that we don't actually know them.
I
But
keep saying, although this might be too much of the same, I keep saying, sadly, we lost Linda
yes,
in this first season, but I think he would be an amazing addition
Yeah.
to the second season.
Oh my God, yeah.
wouldn't he? He would so because yes, would be
The
so good.
dynamic between these two
Yeah,
is fantastic.
yeah,
Their
yeah,
scenes. Yeah. There's
I,
some great, I mean, Rhea Perlman. I mean, you have great
yeah, yeah,
guest stars on the show.
I,
yeah.
that I don't know if that's Julie Caston, our that's our casting director, and also I think Jimmy pulls a lot of them in,
Yeah.
because he knows
Yeah.
everybody.
I'm gonna go back to the house because we waited for you, Peter.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I wanted to say one thing about the boutique,
Mm,
and that is, and I know Greg is inspired by classic movies and just classic Hollywood as well. And I always am thrown back to old black and whites and stuff where the really great DPs used a lot of secret reflective surfaces in all of their shots in the background. So you can see behind Arthur, there's this standing mirror,
Mhm.
an oval mirror, which actually, when they peeled back from another camera, had a reflective shot of the wardrobe, and also there was a mirror on the other side, just so that the actors could reference it when they come out of the dressing rooms, because it was a smaller set, and I wanted to try and expand the boundaries. But we
I'm so
fancy
with you.
ourselves auteurs. We
I
fancy
know.
ourselves.
I'm so with you about using mirrors, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of watching old films and how they used them, like in Marty, or like
Right.
it's just there's if they're used correctly, it can be such a tool for
Yeah.
directors or
Right.
storytelling. And I think a lot of people, especially DPs, are a little afraid, and they're afraid of it.
Yes. Yes.
Gonna catch my light, or we're gonna catch that angle, or gonna catch my camera.
Yeah.
So, but when used correctly, like you're saying they have, it's great. Like,
Isn't it exciting when you're working with a DP and they love mirrors and they
yes,
love reflections and
yes,
Yes.
it just is like, oh my God, I love you.
yes. Because
Okay.
also with like if they reflect their light correctly,
Yeah.
like it's
Yes.
Yeah.
such a blessing to be able to contribute and to collaborate like that. I love it. I love it.
I just have to do this is a shout out you can edit out, but one of
No
my
editing here.
one of my favorites was when the 1945 film Mildred Pierce with the great
Yes,
Joan Crawford.
yes.
DP was Ernest Haller. And there's a shot when she's in her office, and I didn't notice until I saw it at some film festival on a big screen. She's sitting at a desk. There's a lampshade right next to her. He had someone sew reflective paillettes of different sizes on the side of the lampshade. So it reflected her image, but you would never really see that in the TV. But think back maybe on a big screen,
Right.
you would just be aware of it, but not really know that they're there. I mean, just brilliant in the black and white era.
Oh, I love it. I'm such a dork right now with old films and looking back, and
Right?
I do feel I started during the strike really, and I do feel like I've put myself through my own little film school of just like really going back and looking at work. And there's a Joan Crawford Sudden Fear where
Yes.
there's a lot of
Oh
good
yeah.
movies in that one
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just recently watched that, but yeah, and I think the inspiration that we get from all of these things and then applying it and inspiring others is really, what we're here for too. Like, is also to inspire people, even if it's regular people, like put a mirror over here or put,
Yeah.
put some
Well,
colors.
the house we wanted to bring in a little bit of old Hollywood.
Yeah.
If you go back to some of those wide shots of the house, you can. I think Peter accomplished what we set out to do, which was, obviously it's got to feel like we're in Palm Springs. It's got to have all the right textures and layers, but there is a bit of old Hollywood that's happening here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's glam Hollywood. It's
Yeah,
but it's there. I mean,
a lot of good pieces that Peter has brought in.
I know.
Totally.
Fixtures, really good fixtures and fabrics and
You have a great little video, I believe on Hulu.com or it's Max's,
Oh, yes.
Peter, where you go through the set on
Yeah.
three pieces. But can you
Oh,
tell me?
this shot right here. I just want to go back to it because, of course, um, we did the pilot with Glenda Ravello. Greg came in, and I think it was a unique opportunity because there were some things in the pilot that, there's just not time to develop. And a
Yeah.
couple of them are highlighted in this viewpoint. Number one is that corner where you see the plant and the pierced screens behind it, and
Mhm.
it gives great transparency, but some opacity there in
Yeah.
that corner.
Yeah.
That
Perforated.
was a solid one, and it really created a visual, yes, perforated, uh, a really visual dead end. So when Greg came in, he he really did some magical little surgical cuts and installed some items which really improved the visual expansiveness of the set. And then also you can see the bar here, which Greg totally rescued because I don't this the bar that was there was I don't know, it was like when you build a thing and every part of it goes wrong and everything you do to it to try and fix it goes wrong. And there's actually in the whole scroll of photos, there is one shot that shows the old bar that you can see, but just for comparison. But this, Greg helped us really fine tune the set because that back corner where the piano is, that was all a little bit stilted, and he really brought out the beauty and the flow of the set.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard to see. Is
Yeah.
what the problem was. But
Yeah. I think when I think of multicam, I think of angles of your,
that's right.
and I think
Hmm.
of it always they're trying to catch an angle and you're trying to, get depth and everything, but being able to make them work not just from one angle in
Hmm.
multicam, I think is the key. And it's very successful in this set of being able to see like, oh, there's that area is over there and there's their, sitting area over there and that leads to the hot tub and
Right.
Okay, I'm laughing at this viewpoint because uh, I was
panel.
just at a yard sale yesterday and I bought something in anticipation of a second season for the bookcases here because I'm gonna
Cross your fingers.
right crossing the fingers. I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy these and it's gonna bring the second season back. But I'm just laughing at that. And also to mention that the inspiration for this house was Doris Day's Palm Springs house that she built, I think, in 1961. Donald Wexler was the architect, but it had these expansive terrazzo floors and these massive stone walls like this. Uh,
Wow.
so it's really a direct life inspiration. And when they do cutaway shots between the scenes, when they show the exterior of the house, it's the actual Donald Wexler house.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. That's a good get. Like you like sometimes you're not able
And
to do that.
You can actually rent the house and stay there
that's correct. Yeah.
Wow. You can rent
in
Sinatra's
Palms.
house too.
I think
Yeah, exactly.
if you go up the chain, I think Leo DiCaprio owns it or something. I don't know.
What? Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave right
What is
now.
going on?
I think I'm on my way to Palm Springs. We'll look that up. Um, there are so many treasures in this set. Like, I mean, I've
There's one. There's
there's
one. Linda
one.
Lavin.
That last episode is
Yeah.
so sad. So sad, but so funny at the same time, and you have to laugh it off. And recently going through something like that, it's hard, but you have to laugh and you have to think like life does go on and what am I going to do and everything. They've written it, they wrote grief so well.
Yes.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes, they did. And she was really a great light among the cast because she was such a venerable and longtime performer and knew everybody and had done everything. And yet you could go in, they'd rehearse a scene, let's say in the kitchen that she's in. Then they go off to rehearse the next scene that she's not in. She's in the kitchen like a new actor going over her lines, miming her actions. Like she didn't phone it in. She really worked on it.
wow.
She really loved the craft.
That's awesome to hear because it's not everyone. It's not
No.
everyone's doing
Right, right, right.
not everyone's doing their homework these days, but this
Oh, this is the set that Greg added. He should talk about this. Yeah.
where
Well,
is this in our world? Am I
well,
going?
this is adjacent to the kitchen. In the pilot episode, they had a
Oh,
pantry where
okay.
we first saw Linda Lavin, Sybil,
Right.
and when series started, Max and David were like, we really need another playing space that's a little more intimate and a place where the guys can gather with her. So we got rid of the pantry and created a den, if you will.
Yeah.
And
Off the
the
kitchen, kind of.
that's right. So
Right.
ideally through that door
Right.
originally was the pantry. So I wanted to make it super cozy and make it feel comfortable. And we reinvented a bunch of furniture and cabinet pieces that we had made and custom, the wallpaper obviously from Aztec. Peter found those club chairs down at a store in Palm Springs. I think it was, I can't remember the name, but
Reside was the name. It was
Reside. Yes.
I had wanted to do some actual shopping in Palm Springs,
Yeah.
but it can be a little touristy, and then there's a lot of the consignment shops. So I actually made two trips out there. One to go to the consignment shops, and I got some small stuff, but I found this little home store that these guys had come in from Santa Fe or something and decided to move to Palm Springs, but they had those precious club chairs there
Yeah.
and a bunch of other stuff. And I had a small pickup truck and I had loaded it up once I'd finished shopping there, a la Beverly Hillbillies, because I like bound it up on the back, tied down with ropes. And this viewpoint, especially, I love because this wallpaper that Greg used was really magical because it was printed on gold.
Mm.
And once they lit it, you can see it had that luminosity. And you thought, well, maybe that might interfere when they're filming, but in camera, gorgeous, makes the room come alive. And then I just want to shout out the three diptychs of the swimming pools. I found an artist at the Brewery Art Walk.
Oh, love the brewery.
Right?
Oh,
And these canvases, I think, were ended up being 800 a piece, which for a real art by a real artist, I don't consider a lot of money. And these are all Palm Springs pools.
oh, that's perfect.
And can I remember his name? No.
Oh, shame on you.
Ken something. I gotta look it up.
I
But
really, I really love too that you gave them another bar.
Yes, that's important. And
well,
that actually got a lot of detail with shopping and
Yeah, I love the collection
putzing
up
and
there
yeah,
and like,
yeah,
oh, it's fantastic.
well, and Greg put his touch on this as well because this was a different kind of cabinet. He changed it out, he painted it, he re-wood grained it, he gave it new life, he put the caning in the doors to give it some life, and I added some lighting. And Bob's your uncle. Here's another bar. But that was
yeah.
kind of fun to make it like to show off a collection.
Yes.
Like they have a collection of cocktail shakers, vintage cocktail shakers.
I mean, this would be such a great Airbnb.
Oh,
Yes, it
totally.
How
really would be.
Hey,
fantastic would this be?
hey, Hulu, here's an idea to make some money.
Oh my God. The other thing that's great, Peter, is there's so many different textures with your sofa and the throws and the pillows and the tufting on the bar and like you really gave it so much texture in one space, but it's all your palette is all together. It's really nice. It's not easy.
We didn't have we had the same pillows in the pilot, so having that pop of color on the couch, I think, helped cement having all the neutrals there. And the furry throw that you see that I think looks so good on camera, Max actually hates, hates, hates. So I'll probably have to replace it when we come back for season two.
I like
The large bee on the wall is an homage to the Mary Tyler Moore apartment, where she had her giant M.
it. Yeah.
And that's about the third version of the bee because I haven't quite found the perfect one yet. So, and then the biscuit tufting was done by Warner Brothers. But the fun thing is that we had just plain gold buttons, but I went again on the interwebs and found some plastic Roman coins with like Nero's head or something on it. So
Ooh,
they're glued on each one. So it's a detail you'll never see, but I kind of love that uh,
that's
that
beautiful.
I was invoking Greek mythology in a gay man's Palm Springs house.
Oh my God, I love that. They need a close up of that.
Well, it can be just kind of one of those things.
The kitchen is
Easy
fun
way.
too. I always love open shelves. Such an opportunity to like bring in interesting pieces of dishes and not always uh, cheap to have open shelving, but always fun when you want.
Well, I think in the pilot, most of it was rented, and then I did a big shop to CB2 because they had just introduced that new collection of glassware, which was so beautiful, and the color palette fits
And
so well.
I did hear you talk about this oven, which I thought was so interesting.
Oh yeah, Amy Feldman, who we all know and love,
Mm.
had just bought a house, And this oven was in their kitchen and they loved it and wanted to use it, but the home inspector would not let it pass and certify the house because it did not have an automatic pilot. You couldn't retrofit it. So they sadly had to let it go, but it was our gain. The unusual thing about this, when you usually see ovens like this with the glass doors, they're a Frigidaire model and the glass doors kind of go up like a garage door.
Mhm.
But this, and they're all electric, so they're easy to put in and out. This beast is gas. It's a gas stove, like I said, and the big glass doors come out, but it's, I don't know, I'm going to say it's like 500 pounds because it's gas and has all the piping and stuff in it.
Oh,
Nobody's thrilled when it has to move.
do you take that wall out to shoot?
No.
No. Oh, I thought, oh, just to move it to get it into the
Yeah.
spot.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, just to get it out
It,
of their house. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
to move it, to really.
Just to move it anywhere.
The
To get it out of her house, to get it to the studio, it's just,
Oh my God. Well, I'm missing the
it was
word.
a good find.
Yeah, I mean, kismet to like, oh, I need something like this and you can't have it, so I'm gonna take it.
Well, we did pay her. I have to point that out.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I would want to be paid too, so I'm not I'm
Yes.
not begrudging or anything. I'm just saying what a find. And that she knew that you might be looking for an oven. I thought too was really
Well, we had both worked for Glenda, so we were kind of brother and sister decorators.
yeah.
So,
I like too that you brought in black for the table, like something that's kind of
yeah, and we bought those we bought the chairs. I did a shop trip to pilot at Noir Furniture downtown, the wholesaler.
Mhm.
And those were chairs from Noir, and a few other pieces are from Noir. And I have to say, the refrigerator is a great find. It's the only undented Sub-Zero I could find in the basement of Warner Brothers. And
Look at you. You
so
gotta go to Mimi or executive sales. You gotta go over there. She's got some.
we haven't. We'll do that. We'll do that for number two.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fridges are hard. Fridges are
yeah.
hard to find undented, especially a glass one that you have there. That is hard.
Well, like Greg, this is one of the improvements Greg did is that it had been covered by a chalkboard panel, and it's much more interesting dressed and lit like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's also, which I don't have a shot of, but you have a plate of fruit on the table every time.
Yes.
It's either like kumquats or
They're
like
pomegranates
cinnamon
because
for pomegranates or persimmons or something
they
completely
were
different.
sorry, they were persimmons, yes.
Yeah.
And so I was doing like an exact number like 9 and placing them very exactly because to me there's an unspoken character here because a person of their stature and wealth, he probably has someone that comes in every day
Yeah.
and cooks for them or cleans for them, um, in Palm Springs, it's probably, a Latin woman who comes in, a little mamacita that comes in every day and takes care of them. And I figure, she kind of puts everything in its place when she's there. And so that was the inspiration for that until Max finally told me I
You
had to
want some
stop
more?
using persimmons because they went out of season. They weren't looking so great on camera. So
I noticed them and I was like, oh, that's such a good detail because it's not too much. Like I could see how you said like not like it's not too much in the bowl. Like they've been eating
yeah,
them and like it was just a really nice detail of like it's not just a bowl of fruit. It's like like you're very thought out in that detail. And
yes.
yeah. Um, I love these sets. I mean, I love the show. I'm so sorry that Linda.
There's the
Oh,
old
there's
bar.
the old bar. Yeah.
Shield your eyes. Shield your eyes. It's so
Get it
horrible.
off. It's gone. No one will see that. I think it's a fantastic job. I can't believe it hasn't been picked up for 10 seasons. I think it just goes. I think it just
Right?
goes and
Oh
goes.
my God. Oh
I
my
hope.
God, please.
It's a
Yeah.
fun one. Thank you guys for chatting with me, and
Thank you.
I really hope this gets recognized because I could see the amount of work and detail that you both have put into all this, and I hope it gets recognized. It's a beautiful show, beautiful sets.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Such a great job. Thank
And
you.
and a Saturday, no less.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Not, well,
gardening.
almost not for me out in the tomato garden.
You can get out. You can get back out to those tomatoes now. But, uh,
Thank you.
good luck, guys. I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you
Okay.